got unfinished business.
Junkrat primed and ready.
The payload has reached the checkpoint. The payload has reached the checkpoint.
Much better.
Mecha activated. I'm back. Come on.
Back into the mix.